Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. When we talk about Agentic AI, which comes to our mind is basically Agentic AI is a special type of AI which basically does automation in the general normal process, be it a software centric or a hardware centric, or it's a accountancy or management or anything. It can does the job automatically. Now, second question that comes to our mind is basically whether it is taking away the job that we are having or we already had. So, before understanding Agentic AI, we could not come to the conclusion whether Agentic AI is ready to do some automation in the process. In that way, some of the jobs can be eliminated. So, in today's discussion, I will talk about this in more detail, how Agentic AI works and how the Agentic AI is reliable or not. So stay tuned till the end of the video to know all about these things in more detail. So now when we talk about Agentic AI, we should understand how Agentic AI works. Agentic AI is something like it has a set of AI agents. We call it as a worker. For example, you have a team in your software and you have certain people who does their job differently. So some of them may be doing a coding job, some of them doing a verification job. When we talk about chip design and chip verifications, and some of them doing the testing job. So similarly, Agentic AI has also some workers or agents which does these individual jobs. One is called coding agent, another is called verification agent, another is called debugging agent, another agent is maybe called as a scripting agent or something like that, blah blah blah. So so now starting with the Agentic AI, the interface, how is the interface of Agentic AI with the human? The interface is pretty simple. It is just a natural language, natural English language. For example, if we want to design a CPU in our computer, we can give Agentic AI this much simple instruction that I have a Mac computer, MacBook, or I have a the Dell computer or HP or whatever the computer I have, I want to design my CPU so that I can send the design to the factory and they will give back the exact hardware for the CPU which I can directly plug in my laptop or desktop, whatever may be. Now, can Agentic AI do this kind of job? The answer is yes, but how much is basically correct? That needs further discussion. We'll talk about this in some detail in this discussion. So Agentic AI, we pass this instruction as design a CPU, give the CPU architecture details to the Agentic AI and tell them that do the chip design till the tape out level when the chip can be sent to the factory. Now what Agentic AI does internally? Agentic AI first thing is does basically the interactions, the interface. It does a natural language processing interface so that the English language it can easily understand. And next thing is basically the planning agent. Agentic AI has a planning agent at the human interaction level. Planning agent is what? Is basically the English sentence instruction breaks down it into different set of instruction. The first set is basically you want to design a CPU. So Agentic AI needs a lot of information about the CPU design, the CPU architecture, which it can get through reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is another important paper in the artificial intelligence, something like it learns of its own. It has been provided with different documents about a particular thing and it can learn on its own. No human interaction is required. So with the help of reinforcement learning, Agentic AI knows that the particular CPU, how it can be designed. So this is basically the instruction that write a Verilog or VHDL code for the CPU architecture. Second thing that you want to do a verification of this. So there should be a instruction that Agentic AI should do a verification. Now what happens that before doing verification, you need to run the there is a coder agent at the next to the planner agent. There is a coder agent which does a coding of the Agentic AI generated code in Verilog, VHDL system, Verilog, whatever the hardware description language. If it finds any issue or error, it does a feedback loop. This is also another agent. So two type of agentic AI agent can be done. One is basically the execution agent, another is the feedback agent. At every stage of agentic AI instruction execution, if there is any error happens, agentic AI does a feedback loop and starts from the beginning with the correction in the process. So if your the coder does any mistake in the hardware design, then it corrects the mistake. Agentic AI themselves can correct the mistake of their own generated code, and it does a respin. Respin means it should start again doing the analysis of the code, then it goes to the verification, where there is another agent sitting, that is the simulation agent. It is as simple as that, similar to if you have a design team in your company which does a verification, which does a synthesis. So similarly, agentic AI also has different lot of agents who are sitting. One is among them, one is basically the simulation agent. So the job comes to the simulation agent, and simulation agent is finds that this code has been successfully analyzed. So next thing is basically it will try to run some simulator. So now simulator is basically one component which does a simulation, and it checks that whether the simulated output, if there is any error happened or not. If it does not happen, then it goes to the next stage. Maybe that can be a synthesis agent. So again, it does a simulation synthesis, consistency check. So for each of the step, there is an agent sitting out there till the tape out state. After that, it will go to for planning, it will go to placement and routing and all these things. So this is one way of understanding agentic AI. Now, other thing is basically agentic AI at every stage. How does it interact with the tool? Agentic AI has been provided with a set of tools. Agentic AI is also provided some information and knowledge how this tool is run. So agentic AI knows. Also, agentic AI knows about the interaction with the tool through either API or scripting language. Agentic AI knows about how to interact, how to invoke those tools. Agentic AI also knows how to analyze the tool output. So another agent is sitting which does the debugging agent. It does the analysis of the tool output, and if it corrects, then it moves to the next agent, or it does a feedback loop kind of things. So for example, if you start with a Verilog or simple English statement of what you want to be, at every stage you will be given a prompt that simulation stage has happened, there is one error, do you want to or one warning has come, do you want to correct that warning? You can say yes, I want to correct that warning, or you can say that please go ahead with the warning, I am okay with that warning. So this kind of small prompt that comes in midway. So only a very limited set of engineers is required to interface with the agentic AI, so that agentic AI can go with the normal design process and minimal human interactions. So now you might be wondering that agentic AI can design a chip till the tape out stage. The answer is yes and no. Yes is basically it is extremely difficult to devise a agentic AI system, because agentic AI is a system, it is not a simple AI. And there is LLM sitting out there, large language model, which does this natural language processing, which does interaction between all agent, the collaboration among all agents, because they should work hand in hand. Something like in your design team, all the simulation verification workers and the placement routing workers, they should work hand in hand. Similarly, agentic AI agents also, they should work hand in hand. So the large language model is basically something which basically encapsulate or manages all these type of things. So, and also reinforcement learning is also required in the agentic AI side of things. Now, the future of agentic AI is uncertain. I have heard there are some companies, including Intel, they are doing some pilot project with agentic AI, but pilot project can fail. So agentic AI may come to the main flow, maybe accepted globally in I'm not seeing it very recently. It will be accepted globally. Maybe it can take few years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, or maybe it may not be used at all, because the output is not something can be tape out or can be fabricated, because it is not reliable right now at this moment. So you need to take the Agentic AI output with a bit of caution as well. Now, what is your thought process about Agentic AI? If any of you work in the Agentic AI system, and if you do not agree with my discussion, please drop a comment so that we can further discuss on it in more detail. For people who are also want to know the basic things about Agentic AI, then I have already made another video, what is Agentic AI and how it is different from the Gen AI like ChatGPT. You can find it here. And last but not the least, I want to mention that I have recently published a couple of books. One is basically Semiconductor for All, another is basically the Global Chipware. Both of the books are Amazon bestsellers, and they depict about semiconductor in more detail and about the fight that is happening between countries and among continents itself. So just consider buying this book. I will provide the description of the book in the description section of the video. So wait for the next video to come. Till then, Subhasish Chakraborti signing off.